All right, next I want you guys to think about, we talk about sophistication or awareness levels. So that's what we're doing. And we're starting this whole process in the DM setter role, posting content, replying to posting content, going into groups, doing a little research, a lot of the things we've talked about. And, maybe we need to do some more training or implementation on. But what we're really doing is determining, we can use the word sophistication or awareness level. They both really mean the same thing. And once we know that, that's really half the battle of what we need to do, right? Once you know what your customer already knows, you can easily identify what lead you'll be using for your ad or content. So don't mind the word ad here. This is the same with organic, right? But what we really need to know is kind of the different lead types to use, right? So an offer lead is for your most aware audience. And I want you to understand the audience sophistication level along with this. So I'll go back to this in a minute, right? I kind of want to share the chart, right? So as much as we talk about these different lead types, let's look at this top level where it's unaware to most aware, right? So an unaware audience is, generally speaking, as a DM setter somewhere, the people you're going to usually be engaging with, especially cold traffic, right? Now, as you get into groups, we might get more to this end of the spectrum. Let's discuss that. Some of you guys have seen me talk about this. Maybe only Steven that'll be watching this on our team internally here, but this should be really helpful. So, unaware audience means, then we're going to talk this all about our offer in Sales Lab, right? Unaware audience doesn't know Sales Lab, doesn't know Ray and Jesse, doesn't know anything about our backstory, right? And the best way to engage with them for the first time is using like story based leads, like, hey, this is where the company was, this is what we've helped deliver for results. I have actually a really good formula for how to write quick little story posts or long form story posts. But first, you got to make people aware and be able to relate, right? Those are usually the people you're going to draw into your ecosystem. People that see Jesse and athletic, or have a background like me and a father that coaches softball, just like they relate more on the story based stuff about us. Because there's lots of sales pros that can help us. But when people first come into your ecosystem, they want to connect with people on more than just a knowledge based level, right? So that's something to keep in mind. Then people become problem aware, meaning once they become aware of you, you probably start talking about in your posts or through your, screenshots of wins and things. You probably start talking about some of the problems you solve. So they become problem aware. And then they start to realize that they're, if you're the right type of audience, they probably have this kind of problem too, right? Then they become solution aware, meaning, oh, there's actually other solutions. Solution aware usually means outside of the mainstream solution, right? A lot of people think like a solution for, something we offer in getting job placement, right? Or helping find an ideal offer. Like a solution to that is to, go join a bunch of free job board groups and reply to people. And then they start to realize that, oh, there's better solutions, right? There's alternative solutions than these free ones or these mainstream ones, right? Or I'll go post in my warm network and see what type of people I get. Well, if you haven't been actively utilizing this in your sales capacity, and you're probably kind of new to this because you're just coming into our ecosystem and finding out more about, how to increase your close rate, how to become a sales rep and a professional closer. You're probably not aware that there's all kinds of agencies and coaches and courses, right? So you become more aware of the solutions, and then you become more aware of products. So this is where they start really searching for things. Like now they're solution aware and they're like, oh, there's courses, there's coaches, there's agencies. Let me do some more research. There's different price points, there's different, deliverables, and they start to become product aware. And then your most aware audience are people you can be very direct to, and they're ready for offers. So what we're doing in our messaging process, as well as our micro commitment sales process that we implement in our business, right? What we're doing is we're taking them along this chain of awareness level. So by the time they get on the call, they're at this most aware state where we can make an offer and they'll be ready to make a decision to move forward if they know that we're the best fit to help them solve their problems or reach their desired results, or whatever it may be, right? The desired outcome or the transformation that they are looking for, or the return on investment in simplistic terms, right? So we start, and this is more about like when we're creating posts, you can create posts of great substance, but the lead in and what we're talking about when we talk about story leads, proclamation leads, this is just the first line or two in your post. What's really cool is you can have the same post, tweak the first line or two based on the audience that you're with, and you'll get 5 times more engagement just because you tweak the first line or two. So what this is to help you do is when we're creating content, right? and we're creating to an unaware audience. If you are new joining sales groups, you want to start with a story lead. Hey, I'm Steven. My background is X, Y, and Z. I now work with the sales lab company, blah, blah, blah. And then you could come in a couple days later and post something about the problems you solve in this business, right? So a story lead is exactly what it sounds like. Proclamation lead is just like a bold claim, right? Like, I proclaim you can solve this problem in under 42 hours, or whatever your case may be, if you try my 3-step checklist, right? Whatever it could be, just making a big proclamation. A secret lead is kind of like what it sounds like, right? Hey, 3 secrets today you can implement in your business to double your ROI in the next 60 days, right? Could be something as simple as that. And I'll go back through these in a minute. And when you see one in the middle, like secret leads, you see problem aware, you see solution aware. That means it's good lead for both those type of audiences. And this is what you find out when you start to go into these other Facebook groups, and when you guys seriously start prospecting and creating content, or even replying to comments in there. Do research for what we call outlier posts, right? What posts, if you scroll through 5 and you see one has 20 comments, one has 7, one has 13 comments and 11 likes, one has 17 comments and 42 likes, and then one has 113 comments and 211 likes. That's what we call an outlier post. It's got 5-10 times the engagement of the average post in that group. And then you can figure out what content in there, what sentence or two, what really made people want to respond. Was it a problem? Was it a desired outcome? Was it a, kind of a social gathering type of thing where like people just hop on and want to know more about a certain trending topic, right? But what created that engagement? And then we know what to create our content about, and then we use the right leads based on the sophistication level of audiences. And that's what I mean. When you go in different groups, you'll see, as opposed to like beginner, nothing held job backboard, that's just a generic group, as opposed to like, even kind of generic, but still somewhat, sophisticated, is like a ClickFunnels group, 250,000 plus members last time I looked. And they got kind of all business owners in there on all sophistication levels. But overall, it's a relatively sophisticated group where I would go in and start right with problem solution leads, right? But I haven't talked about that yet. But what I'm saying is I know how to go in and look at groups and say, oh, it's about this sophisticated group based on, the members, what they're talking about, the topics, what's getting engagement. And then I know what type of leads to use. And I go research outlier posts in competitive groups and other industry related groups. And I find what topics are generating. Then I use the right lead in with an outlier topic, and you have a winning post, right? So these are ways to go create phenomenal content. So solution aware audience, like I said, we talked about that. So problem solution leads are simply this. You talk about the mainstream problem, and let's just use a generic one, right? We're in online digital space. Let's just use Facebook ads. Everybody talks about it, uses them, offers them, whatever, right? So the mainstream solution is, how do I advertise profitable on Facebook? Right? Or my ads aren't profitable on Facebook, whatever, right? Mainstream solution is, I run Facebook ads and I figure it out myself, or I hire an agency. So you talk about the mainstream problem, you talk about the everyday solution, then you talk about why that solution is BS. Hey man, did you ever know that figuring out Facebook ads nowadays is about 500% as competitive as it was 3 years ago? Now you have to be in the top 20% of Facebook advertisers to really be profitable and scale campaigns. You can't just be competent and get everyday results because everybody's running those generic ads. Then it comes down to who has the biggest budget. And if you're just starting out, you don't, right? So that's just factual. So you dive into like, hey, why that's BS? What if I could show you that maybe you're just significantly underpricing your offer, right? So let's go in and pressure test your offer, make sure that you're getting maximum value out of your existing clients. And then why don't we look at turning on the faucet, for lack of a better phrase, and putting money into that Facebook ads once we're making higher ROI because we're charging what we're worth. Did you ever think that we could look at your offer, reshape that, and maybe even Facebook ads isn't your problem? So now like you've reframed them based on your offer, right? So I just switched that person around based off their ads, Facebook problem, and basically said, let's go look at your offer, making sure that you're getting maximum value, that you're converting it right, and then we'll look at paid ads and getting profitable once we have the consistency and the validation that it takes to build profitable foundations, right? So all I really did was talk about the mainstream problem, mainstream solution. Hey man, here's the problem with that solution. Did you ever think of this? And then we're reframing them. And that's where you'll see in my other content talking about knowledge gaps and where we go into our eco script. That all starts with assigning the frame and injecting an unexpected solution where they're going to think, hey man, that would work. No one's really told me that before. How do I find out more, right? Once audience becomes more product aware, and you see problem solution aware, falls between product and solution aware. So both of those type of audiences kind of sophisticated. And then Promise leads are good for product aware and your most aware, and then offer leads for most aware. Promise leads are simply a promise that usually translates right into your offer. What if I could show you how to close 3 more deals in the next 30 days? To make at least 5K in commissions, right? And then people come in and find out that you can deliver on your promise, and they want to find out how to work with you closer and double and triple that result, right? So a promise lead generally ties right into the deliverables of your offer. It could just be like, um, it could just be like a segue, and that gets people interested, and you're like, yeah, try it out. We give you 30 days to accomplish this. If not, you get your money back, right? No long investment, blah blah blah, 997, right? Something, relatively mid-ticket. And then offer leads is your most aware audience. So these people have already know about your brand, what offers you provide, that you have, the sales lab beta mastery program, right? Or we have the Wolf Den program, or we have the done for you, right? They know all this stuff. Most aware means we can directly make offers to them. Like, hey man, we're looking for 5 new people that want to join our program in the next 90 days before we stop enrollment, right? Whatever. I could do that to my most aware audience. They already know me. But if I did that to an unaware audience that knows nothing about me, think if I made a post saying, hey guys, looking for 5 more spots, and you don't know my business, my background, you're not related to us at all, you don't know our expertise or our establishment level, you don't know about the problems we solve, the solutions we deliver, the products we offer, and we just came out and said that. And it's vice versa, right? Somebody that knows everything about me, they don't really want to hear about my backstory, because if they're my most aware, they've already been there. They know that. So it's redundant. So that's why using this content sporadically and always growing your network, friend requests, all the things we talk about in the bare minimum we should be doing. But it's all about creating content that speaks to them and taking them along this kind of awareness level.